so we just finished up Shawn's Sti Hatchback. So I actually built this car less than a year ago. We started put 27,000 miles on the build. Got IG, block, ETS turbo kit with a 6062. And we're basically all in on this turbo. So before it made like 650 on our old dyno. The fuel pressure was dropping a little bit. So we upgraded pumps probably 6 months ago, Walbro 450s. And he said, hey, it's still, leaning out a little bit on the race setting. And then we found a blown fuse. We fixed that, and he's just been running it around on our, let's say, 550 horsepower map. But yeah, so we fixed the fuel pump, and it immediately dropped like 50, 60 horsepower because it richened up quite a bit. It makes 516 on E70 on like 24 pounds. And then we have this race mode, which it makes 658 on like 30, and then we ran up to about 33, 34. Made a tad bit over 700. It's only got ID 1700s in it, and they're pretty much maxed out. So I turned down just a tad. It's pretty much all in for this turbo setup. Anything above this, I told me to put Altec in it. Standalone ECU to have safeties and compensations and all that. Yeah, it seems to have been reliable. I mean, 600 some horsepower for 27,000 miles and still going. Still seems healthy, still seems strong.
Shawn Roberts.
How many motors has your car had?
This is number 4.
Tell us a little bit about that.
First motor lasted 18,000 miles before I owned it. Second motor, the dealership that replaced it screwed something up. It lasted 600 miles. And then the third motor was in it 24 to 109,000 miles. Now I've got this one. So this one motor lasts a lot longer than that.
Yeah. Is it fast? Is it fun?
It's wicked fast. Most of my motor lasts more.
It's good to hear. We appreciate you.
You do great work.
Shawn shared this was like his 4th motor that he had built or had installed into a Subaru. And that's crazy to me to think about. How could you even trust a Subaru at that point? It's like, I've already been through 4 of you. How can I trust you to still be good? We got a motor here, dyno. Like, how do I trust this straps are not going to just fly off in this car when I get off the dyno? I think one of the most basic things as a Christian is the fact that God calls us to trust Him. It's one of the most basic, commonly repeated commands from God is to trust in Him. And one of the evidences of true saving faith is that God's people trust in Him. Things get hard. Proverbs 3, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him and He will make you path straight. So when things get difficult, do I trust that God is sovereign and He is the King and the Creator of all? Because that's a fundamental Christian doctrine for me. It's the sovereignty of God. He rules and reigns everything. R.C. Sproul said there's not even a single atom in existence that's outside God's control. Every single thing that happens every day, God either allows or wills to happen. And that's comforting to the Christian because, like Joseph, you realize that even when bad things are happening circumstantially, God means it for good because He's in control of it all. Joseph's story in the Bible makes no sense if God wasn't in control of it. Job's story, where God allowed Job to be tempted and for Satan to destroy pretty much all the stuff he had in life, take away his family. And if God's not sovereign, then this world's in a terrible place. He's not worthy of my trust. But the beautiful thing, and I've had to learn this over and over as a Christian, a few years ago, I really went through a trying time where one of my best friends basically stabbed me in the back. And he worked for me, and we had to do a business partnership, and it didn't work out. He didn't pay me, I had to evict him. And it was a really trying time. I felt like everything I had worked for on this business for over 5 or 6 years was taken away. I handed over my social media and everything to him. I handed over all the accounts. I didn't really have anything left. I really had to start over. And it really was a trying time where I had to realize, like one of the verses that I hold in my heart is Psalm 127:1. It says, unless the Lord builds the house, those who labor in vain. The point is, you can work as hard as you want. But if you're working against God, it's not going to happen. So the application is not, it shouldn't work. The application is, put in effort, but ultimately God has to make it happen. So every customer I've ever had, I trust that God has sent them. Because He's sovereign over everything. He's sovereign over every customer that comes my way. And if I don't have any work to do in a week, God's sovereign over that. He's trustworthy. He's good in that moment. And even when I felt backstabbed and felt like I had nothing, one, I realized that Jesus felt it way worse than Judas. And to realize that if God is God, I can trust him when things don't look great and when things look awesome, when it's bright and sunny, everything's going well. So what's your ultimate trust in? Is it in the God who created and sustains everything? Is it in money, security? You know, it's going to burn. Like, you go away, be here one day, be gone the next. You know, what's the depth of your faith whenever something tragic happens? Like you lose a loved one. Do you really trust God is good? Then what's the depth of your faith? Say, God is good all the time. I trust him. He can give and he can take away. Blessed be. You know, the fact of the matter is we typically don't trust God because of our sin. True saving faith, Jesus calls us to come and to trust him, that he alone can save us. And true saving faith says that I do trust him. I trust that what he did on the cross 2,000 years ago, even though I can't see it, is enough. I don't have to add anything to it. I have to do a laundry list of things, but what Jesus did is enough. It is finished. Jesus is enough. That's true saving faith, and that's trusting the way that God is. So if you realize today that when bad things happen in your life, you don't trust God, Jesus gives a great example of a guy who came to him and realized he didn't have faith. He said, Lord, help my unbelief. And Jesus says, all who come to me, I will not cast out. He gave the man faith. Faith is a gift. And God promises if you come to him and beg him and cry out for his mercy, he will give you faith. He can give you a new heart so that you can trust in him, who is the only trustworthy thing. Definitely not a Subaru, not just empty hopes. Well, life will get better. If I do good, then I can expect good. No, you can trust in the one who is sovereign over it all, because he is good. He promises all things work together for the good of those who love him. All the good. If you have any questions about today's content or Bible study, please reach out to us. You can find us on Facebook, Wretched Racing. You can email us at wretchedracing@gmail.com. If you'd like a Bible or any kind of gospel material, we would love to send it to you for free. We also have t-shirts and hoodies. Thanks for watching.